We are live. We are live. We are live. Hello, hello,
Alive.
hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 2, guys. We have an episode 2. I have no idea how this happened. I guess we must really enjoy each other's company and also like cars and
Explain
motorcycles.
it to us, Rohan. How did this happen? Uh,
How it happened was basically the previous episode had happened, and then of course half the people in the comments were like, "Fuck off, filthy casuals! How dare you!" And then the other half of the comments were like, "Hey, actually, this was lots of fun." And I think more importantly, before any of that happened, we finished the last game. Like, "Hey, this was fun. Let's do it again." And
yeah.
wait, no volume, no volume. Sound low. My voice is very low. Why is my voice very low? Okay, let's find out. OBS, OBS. OBS mic. Okay. And we're good. Is my volume fine? Okay, my volume is fine now. Everything is sorted. So, to explain to everybody how this happened, like I said, we did last week. Then half the comments were like, fuck off, filthy casuals. Other half of comments were like, hey, this is fun. You should do it. But also, we had a good time. And
Yes.
also, it helped. It helped a lot that it was a very fun race weekend, guys. Um, it was a very, very, very fun race weekend, and that cannot be denied in any way, shape, or form. So it was just amazing. Guys, is sound fine now? Is sound fine now? Is everything fine now? Should be fine now.
Should be.
I'm getting like great sound at my end. Like, yeah, all good. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Cars are running. It's all good. So, okay. Before we get into a discussion,
Your sound is like the Red Bulls on lap 54.
Yeah. Spoilers.
if you watch the race in reverse, my sound is like that. It suddenly came alive.
yeah,
Like it suddenly came alive out of nowhere. Now, so before we get into what actually happened on the race weekend, I just want to remind everybody of the predictions from last week.
Oh God.
For fun, all right. I just wanna remind everybody of the predictions for last week.
What were our predictions? Do you remember?
I do. I went back and watched that part of the
Oh.
episode specifically so I could write them down on my little phony phone because I'm going to enjoy this. Sherry Shroff, you said, all right, Lewis Hamilton first, all right. Then you said maybe one of the Ferraris. Then you said Seb third. But then you said
And I
the
said the
Bulls
Bulls
are
will
going to
crash
crash out.
Wow.
You said the Bulls are
Wow.
gonna crash out. Sherry Shroff called it.
I called it, guys. I called it.
Called it. Azim Banatwala, you said, Mr. Banatwala, you said Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, alright? Like, just a gigantic fuck you to Leclerc. And you said, but you also said, and this is important, you said a Haas in the top 10.
Yes.
You did say a Haas in the top 10, alright?
Almost got two.
Almost. Arjun S. Ravi. You said Max. Then you said George Russell. Then, yeah, you said George Russell then. I just want to say that you said
No.
George Russell. And,
That was the result I hoped for. Maybe, not the real prediction.
and
you
then,
lost it.
and then you said Signs. Like, I feel like everybody in their Signs boner really missed out on like what my man Charles
Yeah.
is capable of. And I said, to be fair, all right, to round this off in that same way, I said Perez first, okay, which is obviously
Nice.
not how things went.
Nice.
But then,
Perez was second actually.
then
Yeah. yeah.
I
Perez
said
went second.
I said Sainz and Leclerc, and I said neither Max or Lewis finished. So you know what? I was the only one that had the actual race winner in there. Like, is what
Wow.
I would like to say.
But I said the Ferraris, yeah. I said
You did say the
I
Ferraris.
kept
You
it
did.
open.
So
I
think I'm
kept
gonna
it
say-
open.
I'm gonna
And
say,
I said Lewis.
yeah. So Sherry is
Yeah.
actually
And I
the
feel like
closest.
our predictions of the Red Bulls not finishing was
Yeah,
honestly way more
exactly.
poignant
Yep.
than
yep.
your
Yeah. So I
like
won it,
random
guys.
ass guess about
Listen, man, you're just mad that I said Leclerc and you didn't. All right. You can
It's
call it
true.
random ass. You can call it
True.
lame, and I agree with you. It is
True.
all of those things. It is all of those.
And
things.
it was
But
amazing
happened.
how last week we were like, we can dream, and this is like a dream scenario.
Chat has said Horner confirms that Sherry is the reason that the Bulls crash.
Yes.
Nikhil Reddy, thank you. He's a bigger fan of football, so this podcast would be Hilale 442. That's hilarious. Great reference.
Very
Go
nice.
watch Sadmai React stream for that. Love the first episode all. But okay, now that we're here and off and on, thoughts on the race. Let's start straight up with obviously that top three. Go.
Oh, okay. So I think the Ferraris looked absolutely phenomenal from quali itself. Like from that Q3 lap only, we saw Verstappen pushing all the way, and the best he could do was getting within a tenth of Leclerc. Like you knew they have something
So
special in
good.
that car.
Uh-huh.
So good.
And like genuinely, I thought that once they started, that Verstappen would easily manage, considering that they said easy to follow and everything, new regulations, all of that. I thought Verstappen would be keeping in his DRS quite easily. But he was gone, dude. Within, I think, 2 laps, he was gone, and it required a 2 lap undercut for him to get back in DRS range again. So that Ferrari car is banging.
It is. I'd absolutely. Arjun?
Man, yeah, exactly. Like, and good for Leclerc, after 2019, like in Bahrain as well. I think this whole race was like all about these comebacks. Like K-Mag, comeback of all comebacks, right? Like, what a comeback. Like, way to stamp your entry back into Formula One. Like, for those who thought he was gone or whatever, he never left
Yes.
or whatever. It was Daniel Ricciardo line that he could easily totally drop. Who else? Like Bottas, great. And he had a fuck all race also. He had a fuck all race start and
Terrible
everything,
start.
and then
Terrible
sort of
start.
came back, like really, really good. Like Nico freaking Hulkenberg out qualifying Lance Stroll, having not been in that car ever. Baller comebacks. This whole race was, I think, about like these baller comebacks. That was great. I loved it.
Sherry?
I loved it. My favorite moment is what I shared with you guys on our group and on my stories, obviously, where I was like, yes, this is happening, where Perez crashed out. Not crashed out, but I mean, whatever. But pretty much as
Crash
I
out would have at least been
predicted.
spectacular. This was just
No,
like
but
a little.
No, but it was beautiful. Like I felt like I had that, since it was slow, I could take in the moment, enjoy it, high five my dog, and be like, okay, this is going well.
Oof.
But I really enjoyed it. I mean, I feel like we did. Most of you wrote off Lewis, obviously, and nobody had him in their predictions, and everyone's like, he's not getting anywhere, and he did make it to the podium, which was fab. The Ferraris obviously are fantastically fast, which is pretty cool because I feel like it was also exciting just for the sport to see them kind of have this finish, and such a strong finish at that, where nobody could really touch them, which was like pretty amazing. And I think that is kind of exciting for the sport and for viewers, as like all of us. I think it was exciting to watch as a race, to be like, okay, yeah, this is something new, this is exciting, and it's gonna only get better, I feel like, once the field starts punching up more. McLarens were really disappointing, sadly. That was my least favorite moment of the race, I think. I mean, was to watch them, because I was like, this is so sad, after we were all Team Ricardo last time. And so that kind of, for me, was a bit of a letdown, but hoping they'll get better and get up there. But yeah, lots of like totally unpredicted finishes, which were really, really cool to watch. And I think those are what those moments kind of like beyond the top three as well, to kind of see that was the most exciting part.
Rohan, summarize your thoughts.
So my thoughts is, one, I agree with the person like in the chat who said that yes, Ferrari great car, Red Bull issues, etc., whatever. But dude, this is not like some race like Leclerc like snatched from the jaws of defeat or something like that, right? Like all weekend, that guy was just like, bro, I'm a top level racer. I have a great car. You will chase me. Right? And throughout the dude, there are, and you know what, like Max is not a guy who gives way, none of that. Dude, that lap 17, 18, 19.
That was insane.
Fucking glorious stuff. Like just like it, that's literally like that's your money shot.
Cam
right?
footage that they released.
Oh my dude, I'm not kidding. I've seen the footage. I've had 3 different friends send it to me, like as a link, just saying, dude, this looks like something out of like an X-Wing in Star Wars, right? Literally, it looks like something that's happening in that.
Mirrors and like
it was his race from the start. All right, everybody was chasing him. The pressure was on like Max throughout. You would not imagine that like Leclerc has like essentially like the weight of the end, like man, you could hear them holding their breath in that fucking
Yeah.
Ferrari. It was like that paddock, like you could hear them just all being like, please, 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 please. But you would not have known that guy raced like a fucking beast, alright? And what happened right after, for me, for a long time, like I said, used to follow in school, went away, came back. Given that they've been in the midfield for so long, it's easy to forget how just instantly and beautifully emotive it is to see that red car suddenly in front. Right? Like, and this again is a random aside about just how beautiful their actual physical car is. That slightly deeper red that they've gone with this time.
Yeah.
There's just something deeply sexy about
thumbs
that.
up.
Like, just 2 full thumbs up and just beautiful. Like, just, it was just
Best
beautiful.
looking car on the grid by far, and it's so good that it's fast.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's fast, and from what we can tell, reliable, right? Especially the engine between like HAAS and Alfa Romeo and them versus what's
All of
going
them
on with
finished the
Red
race.
Bull engines, where what 3 out of 4 didn't finish, like
Yeah.
versus all the
Gasly
Mercedes
as well.
engines where there's obviously like no pace.
Bottom 6 cars were all Mercedes.
Yeah, right. So that's
It was like the glory days are back kind of a feeling, I think, at the end of this race for Ferrari, for sure.
it's like again, right? I don't want to be like, oh, glory days are back, etc. on the basis of
No,
one
but I
race.
mean, the sentiment was kind of, like
Sure.
you said, that feeling of where, we've all seen the red car in front,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it kind of felt like that time was back.
It was a vibe.
When you watched them, yeah.
I think they need if they are able to create a superstar out of Leclerc,
Yeah.
that's what Ferrari also needs. These like superstar drivers,
yeah,
all
yeah.
of the ones that we associate the most with them have all been freaking superstars, right? Seb,
Mm-hmm.
Michael, Kimi, like just ballers of
Fernando.
our time.
Yeah.
Fernando, and if they're able to create Leclerc into this superstar, then I feel he can be. Like in terms
Right.
of pure driving talent, he's got that X factor,
Guys are
that just the elite.
You're just
Facts,
condemning
like-
Sainz to the
Yeah.
Barrichello role. Like, you're just condemning him to the Barrichello life. Like,
I'm not saying that Barrichello is about Barrichello side.
right? You're just
Yeah, I just
condemning
said it
him to the Barrichello life.
No,
Like,
he'll have a great time. But I feel like in outright X factor that you require to be to go from good to great, I feel like Charles has that 0.5% more than say a Sainz or whatever, but that 0.5 is a lot, and he's just had like really shitty luck to contend with.
he has, it's true.
Like like all
It's
of the previous sort of life experiences he's had in F1.
Yeah.
And he's so remorseful about it. I'm stupid and like.
Yeah. He's so like earnest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna very quickly
Those
read out
are not the
some-
makings
sorry,
of a
I'm-
superstar.
This
though.
is true. This is true. I'm very quickly going to read out some super chats. Preetpal says, "Good job, guys. My favorite new podcast after 442." That's it, guys. It's all downhill from here. We're people's favorite. That's it. This is where the back to the rag story begins. Rohan Mandelia wants to know, Arjun, where can I get these F1 caps? Dude, you can start your own store at this rate, Arjun. Hey, go for it.
Here's the very lame answer. Like either I've got them at races,
The
as
races,
merch stores
yeah.
at the races, or and this is what I do every year, which is where I add like 5 or 6 new hats every year. Is just I order them from the official team site or
Right.
the driver site,
Right.
like all of these things. It's
Do they ever get
expensive.
stuck in customs and all? Like,
Yeah, fully all the time, and I end
Oh,
up paying
God.
like a lot more because of customs and things like that. But I don't have like an annoying sneaker habit or something like that.
fair, fair. Oh, so sneaker habit's annoying, right? If it's at the other end of your body, that's annoying. The hat thing is fucking fine, apparently. Cool.
Yeah.
I see this like subtle clothing like racism. More super chats. Ferrari was competitive in 17-18 as well. So let's see if this time they can actually win the title instead of bottling it again, says Shrey. Garrett says, Merck and McLaren, long way from a fix. K-Mag and Haas OP. Aditya says, you guys should do a prediction before every race. That is 100% what is going to happen. Life में Hamilton जैसा luck मांगता है, ऐसा तो करना पड़ेगा. Also Leclerc WDC 2022. And yeah, Aditya, thank you for your super chat. But okay, let's come to that. What they said, Merck, McLaren, long way to go. Long way to go. I believe they also sort of came out and said that Europe is when they're looking to have like their first substantial upgrades, right? Like coming in based on testing. So what do you think? Now what happens for the next few races to them?
Yeah. So I think it's a larger problem purely because there's one element of you can fix what is in your control as a team in terms of the aero and the setup of the car and all of that. But this looks to be a larger powertrain problem for Mercedes, where that engine just does not seem good enough. And even if you saw the interview with Toto, he was this close to saying the engine is shit. And he was like, no, but they've given us great engines for the past 8 years, so we can't say anything about that. Like, he literally said, I want to bitch about it, but they've won us 8 titles, so I can't. So there is definitely something up with that. Like, I think in a straight line, the Red Bull probably looked the fastest, but also it looked like they were running very low downforce. Yeah, which is why Max was struggling everywhere else. And I think that was why he had that desperation to overtake him into the first corner. And this is something I actually wanted to get into, because having done a lot of sim races in Bahrain, and I've struggled a lot on that exit of the first corner because I run a low downforce setup. So because getting that power down is so tricky because your rear end is all over the place. I think another thing is that it showed the
rear end is all over the place. Let's just hashtag.
Yeah. Hashtag rear end is all over the place. Cool.
Yeah. So I want to highlight the maturity that Leclerc showed to every time let Verstappen go. Yeah, just let him go, because there is a DRS zone immediately after, and you know that you're going to get a better exit than him. And similarly, also, I think a level of naivety from Max to not just hold and get that exit and get him into turn 4. Maybe he's still scarred from last year, of what happened with turn 4. So it's maybe just that.
Damn.
Oh man.
But also, like,
that move was beautiful though. That move was beautiful though. Where Max locked up and Leclerc just went.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was quite beautiful. But sorry, Arjun, you were saying?
No, I was just saying, like, he frustrated the shit out of Max. Like, on the radio, you could hear it. Like, I mean, Max was, like, angry, and you told me not to...
Max is always angry.
But that's the thing, right? I was watching with a bunch of people, and everybody's first reaction was, look at this guy being a baby, right? Like, things are not going his way, and he's just throwing a hissy fit about something being wrong with the car, right? And then suddenly on, like, lap 56, I was like, well, don't you look stupid now for calling him? Because he was not wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, he is someone that gets incredibly aggressive always and gets frustrated behind people. Like, if he can't pass someone or someone doesn't let him pass easily, as Arjun said, there is this, you can tell the tone of anger is just going higher and higher and higher.
And a little bit higher.
And then let's just ram into Hamilton high.
Of course.
Look, that's too broad a generalization at this point in time. Okay, higher and higher octaves we can go for, but let's just ram into Hamilton thoda Twitter pe karenge.
Brutal. Shots fired. All right, now let's talk about the person that we can all agree the whole world is happy for, Gunter Steiner and Kevin Magnussen. Yes. All right, let's agree that everybody, whatever else happened in the race, there was probably a minute where everybody went and said, Gunter, we're so happy for you right now. So yeah, man, let's talk about that Haas top 10 and Mick just missing out.
Yeah. Also, just before we get into Magnussen, I mean, first of all, I want to just, like, the way Mick Schumacher held that spin after being like bounced off by Ocon was spectacular. Just the little donut and okay, I'm on my way, nothing happened. It was brilliant the way he did that. And but Haas, I think Magnussen had a couple of lockups going into the first corner that cost him the position. I think that was a very good battle with Perez, and the way Perez held it to get the overtake done, I thought was superb. Switchback, and again in that corner, literally there's space for one car to go. You cannot go too wide in there. And the racecraft from both drivers for Magnussen to be like, okay, you know what, I realize he's ahead and I have to back off, and Perez like showing the balls to just throw it in there and go for it. But yeah, got his share of luck, obviously, with the 3 retirements ahead of him. He would have been a P8 if not for the 3 Red Bulls getting screwed over. But P5 for Haas, I think that's beyond their wildest dreams for the first race.
Oh yeah, like somebody said, Gene Haas is actually going to start showing up for races now. Like,
they might get a sponsor now.
Get a sponsor,
After last time's helmet.
They're technically P3 in the championship right
now.
Yeah,
they are. They're P3 in the championship with 10 points. That's fucking brilliant. Like, Is that like I'm betting right now, like Gunter Stein, like I don't mean to be that guy, but I'm sure he's like praying for like another COVID wave right now. Like if the season can somehow just end with this race, right? If there is a way that can happen.
Or just every race is spa from last year. We just qualify 5th, get the half points, and be on our way.
But how do you guys see this going forward? Do you think it's like beginner's luck, or you think they're going to be competitive through the season?
I think at least, okay, so for me, I feel like at least until like some of the other guys get like their major upgrades in, I think they're in with a shot at somewhere between 5 and 10, like for a Magnussen, right? At least for the first 3-4 races of the season, which at this point for Haas is already a win. I think my personal feeling is that as the season goes on, their own reliability issues, etc., will catch up and they'll drop back. But I feel like they've realized that they now have a chance to make a little bank in the start of the season. So they may as well go for it, right? Because like if you compare, like any way is up at this point.
Yeah.
So I feel like their story will probably be like for the next 2-3 races potentially. Like I think what happened with Saudi is like so fucking narrow that all they have to do is avoid any sort of major like this thing. And I feel like at least again Magnussen, I feel like can take the car home, right? Like which is a thing that I think that can happen. And then I think we'll get to Europe and they'll start sort of dropping back again. As I'm guessing guys like McLaren and all start fixing their shit up.
I mean, they can take advantage of all this unpredictability.
Of course, they absolutely
they're
can.
reliable in the start and everything.
Absolutely.
And I think since McLaren has really struggled, it's obviously seeming promising for them. Like,
I think so.
All the Williams, McLaren, Aston, all of them are just.
What do you guys think about the Haas prospect?
I think so, So I think Saudi Arabia, in terms of the race dynamic, will feel quite similar to Bahrain because in many ways it is a similar track to Bahrain where there is a couple of really big braking points. The little turn 1, turn 2 fast exit. There is that little dirty air sector 1, a couple of that fast sector 2. We haven't seen any high speed cars in Bahrain, so that will be interesting to see how they do in sector 2.
Hopefully they can run in that fast part where it's like the S's sort of space. That would be really nice to see if these cars actually can do it like now.
Because dirty air is horrific in that particular part of the track, but now with these cars, I mean, it can potentially also be very dangerous to be following that close in that section because you are literally just full throttle. Like it feels like they're turning, but they're actually full throttle throughout the entire section. It's beautiful.
I want to see the visor cam of that. Like that will look so sick on the visor.
Oh, that'll look crazy.
Part of that,
that'll look crazy. Okay, before we move,
the visor cam,
it's brilliant, man. It's brilliant. It's just so cool. It's like this is going to be like replicated in video games in like half a second.
It's already there.
As an effect. Oh, it's there already. Nice. Nice. Couple more super chat. Thank you for them. Priyanshu says Haas look like a bunch of rock stars. Arnav says people forget what a phenomenal talent Leclerc is. He won F3 and F2 in his first year and gave Vettel a run for his money in his first season. We shouldn't forget, says Anurag, that development rate is very high after the new rules and many teams can catch up. There was a missile attack on a fuel plant in Jeddah. Okay. I was just there in the message. I'm not sure what the context there is. Shanti Swaroop says 3 laps of the Bahrain GP showed how the season's going to turn out. Hoping for a 3-way battle at the top and lots of unpredictables in midfield. The main question was, could this new ground effect cars race? They fucking can race. Keep them coming. 2022 banger season, says Ipsit Nayak. Max drove without power steering for half the race, says Arvind. Did he drive without power steering for half the race?
I'm not sure if it's half the race, but
half. It was a few laps for sure.
Okay.
Like around lap 36, 37 is when he started complaining about it.
Right, that's when that happened. Shaktiman, thank you for your super chat. Sapporo Chato for Rohan, thank you. And Rohan says that super chat is an installment for the Haas sponsorship fund. Dude, if we can like YouTube fund this team,
guys,
I think that
let's get the SIDEPOD on their SIDEPODs.
Dude, if we can somehow get our name up there on Haas, alright? Like in any way, shape or form, I think that would be just the most badassly cool thing ever. We can just call it like Super Chat Productions, alright? We don't have to put our name. Like we just put
actually if you look at our initials, Rohan, if you can just change your name to Horan, we are actually HAAS.
Holy shit! That's it. You know what? For the cause, I'll do this. For the cause, it's the least I can do. For the cause, it's the absolute least I can do. Fun fact, my childhood best friend, actually still one of my best friends, he couldn't say my name. He used to call me Horan all the time. He was just trying to tell me all along. It was like a
So you've
Hodor
been a
moment. He was
Horan
trying to
all
tell me. Yeah, he was trying to tell me all along that this is what you need to be. Alright, that's it. From now on, for this podcast purposes, I am Horan. Alright? I refuse, like in Formula 1, it's my it's like, you have porn star names, it's my Formula 1 name. This is my
That's
Formula
your
1
handle.
name. It's my handle. Okay, one last...
There were a couple of
Yes.
other subplots
yes.
to talk about. One was Zhu Gangyu getting into the points on his first race, also overtaking Lewis Hamilton,
Yes.
which was a very nice
exactly.
achievement
Yes.
to get done in your first race. So great race for him, and just he was so happy. If you heard his like radio at the end, he's like, "Oh my God, we got points! That's so cool!
Yeah.
It's just so cute."
Dude,
Also, guys, don't forget Yuki.
dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one Red Bull that survived, the boy
Okay.
who lived.
The boy.
Boy who lived.
That's so accurate.
Yuki in the UK, the boy who lived.
Oh man, that's Yuki in the UK, the boy who lived. Sherry, let's get one show going at a time, okay? SIDEPOD ka 4 episodes, then we'll work on the Yuki in the UK.
The option. This will be the option on the movie.
Guys, if you go to the Formula 1 channel and watch, they have that like live post-race stream, right? That goes on for like an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, they had Yuki on the stream, like he came and spoke. And again, I know it has nothing to do with anything, but he's so small! He's so small! Oh my God! I swear to God, he's so small! Dude, he came on the stream. And the thing is, right, unfortunately, that entire show happens with everyone standing. Alright?
Yeah.
So, for the first, I'm not kidding, this is horrible of me, I will be real. Like, for the first 20 seconds of him being on, I thought, like, किसी का बच्चा fan है. Or, yeah, now look, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, I was not operating at my highest, okay? For 2 seconds, I was like, ये किसी का बच्चा है, कुछ बोल रहा है, and I was like, fuck, that's Yuki! That's what they, like, dude, Drive to Survive gives no perspective on how little this guy is, I promise you.
Yeah.
Alright, I will send you the link to this video, and it's great. But he's amazing. But good
Like
job,
if you've
Yuki.
only seen Sachin Tendulkar bat and then you hear him speak.
Kirk has said if F1 is the Star Wars universe, Yuki is Grogu.
That's true. That's perfect.
That is absolutely perfect. What are the subplots? Take us through more subplots. Yes, Yuki is one. Zhu is great. Both like great.
Bottas as well. Bottas had a absolutely awful start.
Shit,
I think
he
he was
went
down to
14th.
14th.
Yeah, 14th.
Yeah.
Both of the alphas had the fuck all start. Even Zhu Guanyu had the fuck all start.
Yeah. So I think Bottas said that he got too much, but Bottas has traditionally been a pretty crap starter in most races. I think that's been his biggest downfall at Mercedes, where the qualifying he was
Except
always
one
great.
Austria qualifying where
Yeah.
he really fucking nailed it, and like it was. that
Yeah,
was
I think he had one of those best iconic laps at I think it was Imola as well, where he just put in like that world's most perfect lap over there. But so he's generally been pretty decent at quali, but even when he starts on pole, he nails it. Usually,
Yeah.
apart from Mexico last year, where he decided to give Max slipstream. I think that was part of his plan. But no, he's always struggled. But I actually don't know how he managed to finish so high up, because he was down in 14th. Maybe it was on pit stop, because we also didn't see him overtaking a lot of people. Maybe it was just pit strategy that worked for them.
Maybe or again Bottas को footage नहीं मिला. Like he did all the amazing overtaking, Bottas को footage नहीं मिला as per usual. Basically, that's what
I used to
happened.
have Pierre Gasly last season for some reason. I remember this, like just watching the season. I was like, Pierre Gasly is always like P5, P7, but I never see him.
But you don't see him, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely saw him this race.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You saw him this race. Like saw him trying
He
to
was
recreate.
He was at the Grosjean spot also.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, right there,
He was.
exactly.
He was right
Shit.
there. Damn. Maybe
Yeah.
they shouldn't. Maybe they should just like make a little turn there away from that spot. Like I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not a superstitious guy, but
Yeah.
maybe. But
We profile the track, you know. So it goes
yeah,
around.
just a
The
little
bad
bit
juju
around the
area,
bad
you know.
juju area. Exactly.
Yeah.
You can call it that. You can call it the bad juju
bad-
chicane.
Yeah, you have the gravel trap and you have the bad
the bad
juju
juju
area.
chicane. Like it's just there, like
Yeah.
a special
should just
ghostly
make a
flag comes out
fountain
if
there.
you go near there, like a flaming flag. Like there's just a guy waving a flaming flag if you go near there, and you avoid it, and that's how that works. This is only funny because everybody involved in all these things is okay. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But while we're on that,
You guys see the F2 steward who was racing to collect the front wing of somebody's car in the F2
Yeah, yeah.
race, and then he sort of revealed a lot at the end.
shit,
and now
really?
It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
he's like a slightly more portly guy.
Right.
And I think on the close to the first corner, there was a bit of a bump, and some debris was on the field, and then this dude just ran to get it when there was a virtual safety car or whatever. And he bent down, and his whole for just about a second or so, his belt
You
was
saw his
broken
paddock.
by-
Oh
Oh,
no, you
no.
saw his paddock. That's not good.
Yeah.
His
They
rear
were like-
diffuser. Yeah.
His rear diffuser. Like,
Mic
was he?
crack, well done.
Was he? You know what? Never. I'm not following this line of thought. I'm just not. I was gonna say, did he have DRS enabled? But you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, then while we're at it, and chat wants to know, then talk about Jehan Daruwala. He had a good weekend apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He had a great first race, the sprint race that happened. on
Sprint race was
Saturday.
great, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. He was quite aggressive as well. He lost a position, and then he defended well against Liam Lawson, who's also a really, really promising sort of single seat driver or whatever. And it was really great. The first race was really good for him, and then the second race he got bogged down in the midfield, and I think he was a bit unlucky with the start of the race and things like that, and he didn't have the best sort of second race. But great for Jehan to see him on the podium. The first race, the sprint, it was really good to see him be aggressive. This is his third year in Formula 2. He has to prove himself right now, So it's good to see him make those moves and stuff. So great race from Jehan on Saturday.
He's generally been good in sprint races, but I think in the longer races, he's tended to struggle.
Yeah, unless he starts up front. That's the thing. His whole thing is related to also if you in the midfield generally he gets.
Yeah.
How cool are those F2 cars to play in the game, huh?
Yeah, they're quite interesting though. I mean, the thing is, what I enjoy doing is driving the F2 cars and then going to the F1 car later because then everything seems so fast.
Oh, it's like when you go in FIFA and play with some of the lower ranked countries, and then you go back to the great teams. Oh, that's great. Great feeling. Great feeling. All right, couple of super chats before we move on. Kanak said, everyone's saying three-way race for title. Ferrari, Red Bull, Merc. Gunter's page, please. Ferrari were running conservative mode in Bahrain, says Alan. Conservative engine mode in Bahrain. And Abisun says, you guys should try to do an F1 fantasy league and let people join too. It's fun and you can make predictions there too. And everyone can enter 3 teams. It's on the official F1 fantasy site. Yeah, maybe we'll set up a side pod. One thing at a time, guys. आज तो मतलब सुबह तक ये stream भी नहीं बन रही थी क्योंकि मेरा YouTube बग था. Fantasy league हो जाएगा, ठीक है. मतलब अभी अपना मस्त logo हो गया है, वो सब हो गया. तो every week we'll keep adding things. It'll keep happening. Okay, before we move on to a really fun segment that I want to do. The question, one last thing that we have to talk about since we talked about the Flames. 3 out of 4 Red Bulls gone.
Yeah.
We've not talked about the main plot twist in this race. 3 out of 4 Red Bulls just gone.
It's very strange because they did pretty much comparable on the number of laps to Ferrari in testing and all of that. But clearly it seems, I mean, it doesn't look like an engine issue because I think the engines were fine, but it seems to be some kind of shared component. Max mentioned it was a fuel pump or something like
Helmut
that.
Marko just came out today.
Saying that it's not the fuel pump, right? It wasn't the fuel pump, apparently.
Yeah. But it's damn weird. Whatever it is, it's hardcore that 3 engines out of 4 just went kaput.
We're used to seeing that with tires for Pirelli tires. Suddenly, one explodes, then 3 explode in a thing after that. But very interesting.
This is the kind of unpredictability, though, I feel like we're going to see in the first 5-6 races
100%,
across teams.
100%.
Across teams, as we go to different tracks, all the tracks in the first 5-6 races are all very diverse.
Yeah.
We're going to Saudi, we're going to Miami, we're going to all sorts of crazy freaking places. Imola is happening, so traditional circuits to bonkers tracks. It'll be quite entertaining, I feel. We're going to be for the next few weeks.
Fingers crossed. Now, guys, we're moving on to a new segment, all right? Because people call us filthy casuals and shit like that, all right? Guys, I'm proud to announce that we now have data and telemetry analysis. So can I please have joining us today on a segment that for now I will call telemetry, Mr. Aditya Bhatt, all the way from Germany, to break down some telemetry data for us in a fun and entertaining way. Aditya, can you please join us? Please let him be here. If he's left after halfway through the...
I
You're
see
here!
5.
Hooray!
There we go.
Hooray,
Yay.
hooray,
What is up,
hooray! What
Mr.
is up?
Horan
What
Joshi?
is
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That's right. Horan Joshi. Christian Horan, that's my name.
There you go.
I am now Christian Horan. Aditya, all the way from Germany. Now, I know you run an Instagram account where you do a lot of reels where you look at telemetry data, etc. And I believe you have some gems for us from this race. So please, take it away. I think screen sharing is enabled. All of that is sorted. So please, take it away. Everybody, Aditya OP in chat because he is about to blow your minds. So come on.
No
pressure, Aditya. No pressure.
No
dude.
pressure, no pressure.
Just blow our minds, okay? Just no pressure.
That's all,
just
yeah.
blow our
तुम लोग
minds, okay?
देखो तो
Nothing
सही.
more, nothing less.
You guys have been like, well, let me just share. Full screen, right?
Full screen. Go right ahead.
Everything.
Bro, I fucking told you.
How do you show present? You see it?
Yeah, there we go.
Right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hoping, like, obviously you guys have seen the race, and I'm hoping the chat has seen it to this level as well, because I want to talk about the first round of pit stops, because that's where the excitement came along, because we saw that Leclerc had a brilliant start to the race, right? 7 seconds off, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting Max to be there with him for the first at least 7-8 laps, but then nothing happened. He was off in the distance 7-8 seconds. So the first round of pit stops is where Red Bull made that decision to pit first, right? And Red Bull are always great with that.
Yeah.
So lap 15 is where Max pits, and Leclerc is still circulating. He does a 157, including the stoppage, the pit time, and he loses 15 seconds relative to Leclerc, who's still circulating. And Ferrari decide to react, which is something that they haven't done historically, and I'm glad that they're doing it right now, because they've always been like, for Charles or for Seb, they've been like, okay, Charles, we'll stay on lap on plan Z and all that. No, nothing like that. Just react, please. Right. So lap 16, they bring him in, and with the new tires, Max goes on to another set of softs, and he's done a mega outlap, and he's done a 136.9. So when you see the time lost, Leclerc has lost 21 seconds relative to Max, while Max has lost only 15. So he was 7 seconds behind, and he's now made up 6 seconds just in the pits. That's where lap 17, 18, and 19 is where we see the fight because of this undercut.
And we actually heard that he wasn't even pushing as hard as he wanted to. He was like cool on it.
Yeah.
But is this symptomatic of like just how high the tire degradation is on these soft tires? Because like if you're 6 seconds slower, that's absurd.
Well, the tire deg was same for everyone. It was more of the Ferrari just engine and Leclerc pushing it consistently. And also, I feel like the brake issues that I'm going to talk about next, I think Max had it from almost the start. I think he was complaining about it lap 7, 8 even. It was not just after the pit stops as well. So maybe he was nursing that a bit. But then even with that, if we say he still had that issue, lap 16 was insane from Max Verstappen.
All right.
Nice.
Right?
Fantastic.
So far, mind blown. Sure.
Really?
People in chat also saying this. Damn right.
I was hoping your mind would be blown by this, but Azim already spoke about the way Leclerc was holding back. Because lap 17, turn 1, Max takes him into turn 1, and the second DRS, Leclerc gets him again. So now he knows that he's going to lose out anyway in the first turn 1. He's going to have to save it, and he's going to have to make sure that he's got DRS, right? When it comes to the detection point, he's got to be behind and within that second. So
you're saying he goes into that turn slower. So that's why we're saying lower it, because he actually like goes in with less pace on purpose.
Right. So you see Leclerc is in red.
Right.
This is his speed graph.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And relative to Verstappen, who tops out at what, 320 or whatever here, Charles is.
He also had the DRS at that point.
Yeah. But you see the braking event here. Max goes 0 to 100 on brake and releases here, but Leclerc doesn't unneeded but needed event here. So he's broken again. That is here.
Nice.
Right? Going into turn 1, which is where he gets the DRS plus the jump on Max, and you see the speed differential here. This is where he overtakes on this straight.
Yeah, it's all about that exit speed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Very nice.
And he also maintained his own, if you see that on board, he maintains his racing line. So he's also getting a better way of the track when he's exiting that corner. It makes it, 1000 IQ racecraft.
Absolutely.
There's a very clear decision that he made. He's not gonna defend at all into that.
Man, it's so nice to see graphs not in a marketing presentation. It's just such a good feeling. All right, moving on. Blow our minds more.
So 17, 18, 19 was the fight, right?
Yeah.
You see the lap times pretty much similar because one was ahead and then the other was ahead. They were fighting. But lap 20 is where, at least the second half of lap 20 is where Red Bull really address those brake issues. And Max is now 0.75 seconds off Leclerc on lap 20. And I'll show you lap 20 in a bit more detail here. He starts lifting and coasting because he's had the issue anyway. And then he's fought with Leclerc for P1, which has just aggravated that a lot more. So now he really has to. You see, for you guys, just delta here.
Okay.
Is where the standard, the reference is Leclerc, the red line.
Okay.
And this is Max's time differential relative to Leclerc. So if he's down, it means he's faster. If the line is up, then he's Verstappen is slower than Leclerc here.
Right.
So for half the lap, he's faster.
He's gaining time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then here is where they literally order him. GP, his race engineer, says, "Please start lifting and coasting, or otherwise we're going to go up in flames on lap 20 on the race 1. So can you please not do that?" So you see here is where going after this is on the back straight. Going into this fast corner, he's lifted off so much earlier. This is a big differential when it comes to Formula 1. Like he's off the throttle, fully off the throttle, and he's letting engine do the braking. And Leclerc is like broken so much later.
While we're here, while we're on the subject, Azim, you were talking about this. You can engine braking. Is that a concept that you would like to explain?
Yeah, so we can probably explain both. So lift and coast is basically, so when you are normally attacking a corner, you hit the brakes and you downshift as late as you possibly can. But in lifting and coasting, basically rather than braking, you are just lifting off the accelerator earlier so that your car is slowing from just the lack of acceleration, and then you get in over there. Typically, you would use this, at least in the F1 games, we use this when we want to save fuel, because you're using less acceleration.
Right.
And engine braking, of course, this is, don't try it in your car, but you can, basically the idea is that you want to use the engine braking. So as you downshift, to give you an example of your own car, if you go from third gear into first gear, you'll immediately find yourself capped with how fast you can go, and it'll feel very jerky. Now, obviously, if you do this on your Honda Brio, you will burn out the engine within 5 days.
You don't know that?
But I do know that, actually.
Okay, fine, fair. Can't argue with that.
But this is why Honda Brio engine lasts you 10 years.
Sure.
But F1 is allowed 3 engine changes per season because of the amount of stress that goes into the engine, and a lot of that obviously comes from acceleration and the engine braking in particular.
Right.
So engine braking is, you want to use engine braking also more so that it also preserves your brakes and puts less heat and less wear into your brakes as well.
Got it. And
better than any of my professors have ever explained it.
Well, there we go. Aditya, I think your sister is here. Yashaswini Bhatt is here. Is that your sister? So
Jesus
happy that
Christ.
my brother Aditya Bhatt is here. Follow his Instagram, bhatt.tech. Thanks Rohan for having him.
Yes.
Pleasure's all mine. So yeah, should follow your Instagram. Next.
Yep.
Show me that good. Yeah, there we go.
Good. If
There
you would
we go.
not pardon the pun, Kevin HAAS race pace,
Nice.
right? I just wanted
Will
to.
Buxton, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Comedian. So I just wanted to see what their race pace is. We spoke about testing, the race pace and testing, their pace and qualifying, all that was there. But especially when they do race run simulations in testing, you don't really get to learn a lot because you don't know what everyone else is doing. You don't know what engine modes they're on, what test plans they're on, or fuel loads, whatever. Right. So the best way to compare their race pace improvement is just see what happened in Bahrain last year. Exactly that stint relative to the race leader or the best driver at that time. So if we plot 2021 Verstappen as the best car versus the best Haas Schumacher,
Right.
and this second stint after they've done the pit stops, they were Haas were 2.3 seconds per lap of the leader.
Right.
And when you do the same for this year, the lead Haas Magnussen versus Leclerc, the lead car in general, 1 second off. So 1.3 seconds per lap faster in race trim. Right?
Oh,
That's an improvement.
That is actually a pretty. I mean, improvement is putting it mildly. Look at Gunter Steiner's face on your own slide. That is the face of. Look, that is the face of a parent who has full boards में your tension has been कि बेटा maths बस pass हो जाए, ठीक है, बस pass हो जाए. So far there is no evidence to suggest that beta is going to pass maths. Now result has come and by some miracle, by 1 mark you were expecting pass, but beta has got 60 on 100. That is the face of that parent. That is the face of that parent.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here.
We had to see this face because I moved the entire thing off center just for this face.
I completely 100%. That's 90% of what people have been looking at. If you look at the chat, it's like look at Gunter's smile. Look at Gunter's smile. But yeah.
Yes.
And also this is, you could say the exact same thing about Alfa Romeo as well. The improvement compared to last year. It was so good to see Bottas just driving so free from the Mercedes constraints of everything.
Yes.
That is absolutely
In the
true.
modern words of Vinelli, he was like a bird, just flying away.
The finish.
So poetic. All right. Okay.
Are we doing the McLaren?
Should we move on?
Yeah, dude, come on, let's go.
Oh, so McLaren is the new Haas.
McLaren is the new Haas. Basically.
Orange is the new black.
Orange is the new Haas.
Orange is the new Haas.
Orange is the new Haas is dead accurate. That is
The
very,
exact
very
same
true.
comparison, 1.5 of leader last year to 2.3 this year.
Oh man.
And that's a lot of it is down to the Mercedes engine as well, but
Of course.
generally that car is horrible to handle.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I heard Lando talk about like they're just lacking aerodynamic downforce as well. Like, I mean, at this point in time, it seems like a more pivotal McLaren Honda type of problem. Where there's a root issue to be fixed, and it's not like you can solve it with a patch. Is that like a computer thing?
Well, I'm glad you brought up the aerodynamic problems because look at this race in the high-speed corners, Ricardo.
There's a slide for that.
Yep.
That's basically Aditya's thing. There's a slide for that.
I've done my homework. So I was trying to look like where are they slow, and it's apart from everywhere, especially in the high-speed corners. If you look here, right, this is a high-speed corner, and here, this is relative to Leclerc. Leclerc only has to lift off this much.
Yes.
While this guy is like 50% throttle, he just can't keep the throttle up and still turn into that corner like a normal working car would.
Yeah. Like to give you an example, Yeah. So to give you an example, so like when we're racing on the Bahrain circuit in the sim or the game or whatever, usually you would lift that much. Like if we're talking about these two cars having the same tires, you would lift that much if you had a worn set of hard tires, and this much if you had soft tires. So that's the lack of downforce that they have.
Damn.
Yep. He's got to lift off all the time when he doesn't have to, basically.
That's crazy. Arjun's 5th cap. Is this your 5th cap of the stream? People are counting now. Arjun, people are counting cap changes now. So yeah.
We did more last time. This time.
अरे वो season opener था ना? Season opener था. अब थोड़ा.
I had only
pace
one
up
cap
the
today.
Narrative, right? Like yeah. That's.
Look, it's a very
Alright.
expensive. It's
I
getting to
have
be a
a
very
blue
expensive habit. Don't expect like multiple cap changes per episode.
You have
It'll come
set
down
this
to
up.
one or two, and then everybody will be like, "Oh, kya hua?" and everything. It's like, man, I have a life to live, family to run, home loan to pay. Okay. you
Cats
know.
to feed.
Yeah, catch
Yeah.
the feet, man.
Catch the feed.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Dying.
All right.
So I got one more.
All right.
And that's the main event,
Oof.
right? This is where.
I mean, I'm actually loving the title of the slide.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not a disaster for Shahid. This is the happiest headline she's read in years. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Also, what happens when you drink too much Red Bull and can't sleep at night?
dude, at my age, it's been so long since I drank a Red Bull.
I know, right?
Like, I drink one now, and then I'm like, perhaps I should go to the hospital. Yes, sorry.
so white is the lap before the DNF,
Okay.
the traces of it.
Right.
And then blue is the actual lap where it just dies at the end. But I was trying to look like, did he have problems with the lap before, lap 56? And at the end of it, like this was a bit, yes, but you really see it coming in here. Like everywhere, the speed is just dying and
Yeah.
dying and dead.
Yeah.
And also
very
there was no
interesting.
Perez data because he completed
he's-
lap 56 normally and 57 he spun
Yes.
at 1 and then
Gonna take a picture of
Wow,
this.
Sherry.
Just like this is going to be on her wall tomorrow.
Really, like full on. Like no, I'm imagining her literally wearing like a dress made of this now. Just
Yeah,
gonna print
like
it
we'll
out.
make a t-shirt and
Yeah,
put it
there
like
we go.
that. Yeah. I
There
think that works for me.
That's just amazing.
A little DIY.
Just a little bit. All right, Aditya, thank you so much. You have one last.
thank you from Mattia as well.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Aditya, thank you. Aditya OP in chat one more time.
Superb. Wonderful.
Superb. Too
Very
great.
good.
Took us all to
Mind blown.
school. And that's a segment we call Telementary. Aditya, thank you. Aditya can be followed on Instagram at butt.tech. That's BHAT.TECH. Anything else, Aditya, please feel free to pimp yourself to our audience.
That's all I've got to film.
All right, fair. I guess I pimp you to our audience then. Gonna go think about that a little bit later on, but that's fine. Thank you, Aditya. Hopefully, we will see you next week if you are around with more
I would love to.
fascinating race data. Amazing. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Also, we have like 1,500 people watching, but only like 861 likes. This is some bullshit.
Disgusting.
Hit that like button. This is some bullshit. You guys are holding out. Just slam that shit. Do it. All right. On that note, before we go, unless you guys have anything further to add, after that, like somebody pointed out, I said sorry when when I interrupted him, like I was in class.
Yeah.
It felt a little bit that way. It did. Okay. Saudi Arabia. Predictions. Predicts.
Oh man.
Predicts.
This is where it gets interesting.
Predicts.
Azim, you go first, please, to take the pressure off of the rest of us.
Okay, you know what? First, Carlos Sainz.
This time I'm just going to write it down.
Oh.
Second,
Okay.
Charles Leclerc. Third, Kevin Magnussen.
Oh.
Everybody's
And
got
you're
that
saying-
one go hard,
I
go
am
home
all in.
prediction, right? Everybody's
I am
got that
all
one
in.
go hard or go home. Nice one. Okay.
You're
Sherry.
expecting a lot of crashes.
What? Yeah, because of a lot of crashes. Okay.
Are you expecting a lot of crashes as team. Is that why
No, I'm
T-Mag
expecting just the Ferraris because of how much pace they had in that straight line. I think because Saudi Arabia is mostly straight line. So I think that's why they would do well. And Ferrari engines, I think this thing. And also, so I think what we should do is the same 1, 2, 3, and then one side prediction of something to happen.
Okay.
So what is your
What's your
side
side
prediction?
I don't want
K-Mag
to
3
say it.
sounds like a side prediction. But yeah,
No,
say
no,
it,
I
say it.
don't want to say it. Okay, my side prediction is Max Verstappen in the wall at some point in the weekend.
Love it.
I mean, I don't want to, but I get the feeling that's what's going to happen.
Wow, Sherry, remind me never to piss you off.
Yeah.
Like, just remind me never ever on any of my days to ever piss you off. That love it has, on a hot summer day in Mumbai, chilled me to my core.
You just
Completely.
don't race hard with Lewis, okay? Then you'll be fine. If you just don't race hard with Lewis, you'll
Yeah,
be
that's it. In my life, as long as, like if I'm ever at the same buffet as Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton and there's a last
There's no
cupcake
chance,
there
yeah.
and I
You-
make the mistake of going for that cupcake, then like I'm fucking dead to Sherry basically.
Yeah. Don't,
Yeah.
it's fine.
That's how that works. Got it. Sherry, predictions. Should I just like
Um,
Lewis first, second, and third?
I mean, yeah, I would love that, but but I'm gonna say I think Shah is gonna stay in front from what I saw. I would love for Lewis to get in there and get in between maybe and get a solid second, and for us to hear "Get in there, Lewis" on the radio would be fab. I mean, most likely the other Ferrari is going to be third, but I would love to see K-Mag or Bottas in third. If it's a dream podium, I would rather it be them. But I'm saying realistically, it seems like the Ferraris. And my side prediction is Max is definitely in the wall. I mean, there's no question because he's frustrated, he's angry.
Right.
No, but this one he's already angry. He's riled up. Like that this is what's happened. Also, the report has come out with human error, so I think we're going to see more human error on that side. And I think this is what I'm saying, that there's a lot happening. So I think the pressure's on, and I think he's going to be in the wall, sadly or not sadly.
I'm not committing to race or quali or practice, but in one session he will be involved.
Why Sherry doesn't care if he's walking and somehow accidentally falls and breaks his nose on the wall. Sherry will take it. All right.
Sherry is like, get in there, Max.
Take it. Sherry will take any wall destroying Max's life. Like if he's at home and like he walks
Sherry
into that
will-
wall also, Sherry's like
Sherry will build a wall.
Sherry will build a wall and like drop it on him like Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner style. Like I have absolutely no doubt about this at all. Like at all. Just
You must have loved it when Max went out in quali in Jeddah last year. Remember, like he was on it
Man.
right up till the last corner. It was looking like the lap.
and then just gone.
Yeah.
It's these moments that like make it so much more beautiful and fruitful.
So I'm gonna make my predictions.
Yeah, go.
Leclerc won. Just to balance out all this like negativity from you, I'm going to say Max Verstappen second. Alright? Because I for one would not like see anyone in a wall. Just saying, like I see no reason for anyone to repeat the plot of 100 days. But in an F1 race, it's not required. And my third, who do I pick for third? Third is always that juicy spot, right? What do we do?
Give it to Lewis. Come on.
You know
Why
what?
are you bargaining with him? Like,
Give it to Russell.
oh man, make up your own.
Yeah, give it to Russell. I wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Give it to Russell, yeah. ऐसे
I
दे रहे
am going to give it to Carlos Sainz.
All
I'm
right.
going to give it to Carlos Sainz. Like, I don't want any of your Mercedes toxicity up in here in my shit. Like, I don't even have a problem with Mercedes, but I'm starting to see what people say about their fans now. I'm really starting to see it, Sherry. I'm starting to see the fucking problem. I'm starting to understand 100% what the issue is. That is my prediction. And
repeat. So, what did you say? Charles first?
I said Charles first, Verstappen second, Sainz third, and I am going to say DNF On.
Add balance to the universe, Rohan. Add balance to the universe. You know who.
Okay.
You know the name to call.
I'm saying DNF. I'm saying DNF on every Mercedes powered car.
Oh!
Think DNF on every Mercedes powered car. I would
Eight
also
cars.
like to point out that I'm not wishing for anyone to go into the wall. I'm just wishing for cars to power down. I'm saying 8 cars. 8 cars DNF.
Yeah, because this
we're
is
not
actually a
wishing,
secret
we're
part.
predicting.
Yeah. No, this is a secret part of the new regulations. They didn't tell you that all the teams also have to build in a self-destruct button that the FIA can use at any point. So
I
this is like,
personally-
okay, you are out. It's
I
like Squid
go
Game.
back
Bye.
to my pitch where if everybody who is present gets a little voting machine
Oh no.
and at random points in the game or not in the game, in the race, an IPL style air horn goes off, and at that point anybody who in those 10 seconds can just punch the number or this thing of a random driver, and whoever has the most votes, like Mario Kart style, something happens. Basically, I'm not saying what, but
Banana
something
on track.
happens. Banana on track, like oil.
Oh, wait,
like
speaking of
this
that,
thing.
wait, can I just
Right?
okay? Please carry on. I'll show you a great meme.
Like that is my theory. Speed racer style, like a car just flips. I don't know, but yeah.
Deep cut. Speed Racer OP in chat.
Speed racer OP in chat. Best movie ever. Underrated AF. I'll fight anyone.
Really?
Yes. Have you seen it?
You believe in this?
What?
What you just
I 100%
about-
believe in what I love Speed Racer. Speed Racer, one of the first movies when I got a Blu-ray player. I went out and looked for the Blu-ray because I wanted that movie to make love to my eyes in full HD all over again. I love Speed Racer. It's such a trip.
I loved the cartoon when I was
Oh,
a
the
kid,
cartoon
and
is
then I saw the
outstanding.
movie, and I think I was like, "Oh no, this is too psychedelic for me."
Oh no, I
But
loved
maybe
it. It
I
was
was.
so just beautiful.
Okay, wait. So
and-
this is the real Formula One Mario Kart edition.
Oh, I saw this. Yes. Yes, I saw this.
We played through.
It's so fun. Guess you missed it.
Oh man, that was
Dude.
awesome. So
Alright.
yeah, all right. I have everybody's predictions. This has been the side pod. We have had a good long hour. Azim has places to be. We
Yes.
have dinner and things to eat. You guys have families and lives and things like that. So chat, before we go, leave your predictions for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix in chat. Leave them in the comments also when you're done watching this, if the live chat is over, and let us see who.
What we
gets
should
this
do
thing. Yes.
is run a poll of seeing who out of our 4 predictions the chat supports.
Who out of us-
Yeah.
okay, you
We
know
can
what,
do
I
that.
can do this.
We can do that next. We can do that now also. And in the meanwhile, I'll do some shameless plugging.
Yeah,
Which
please
is
guys,
that,
plug
of
whatever
course.
you have to plug.
Yes, in 15 or 12 minutes from now, we will be going live with 442. I know a lot of 442 audiences here, but if you're interested in this, but with football, but very politically incorrect, you can come and watch that on the 442 channel. And are you in Pune this weekend, Rohan?
I am in Pune. I am not in Pune this weekend, unfortunately for Weekender, as I have
Yes.
Quizzing with the Comedians live is happening.
Oh, yes.
At Habitat,
That's why
which
I'm
is being
missing
taped
it.
for
Damn it.
YouTube, which I'm quite excited about. So
Ah.
that is happening.
Yeah. Actually, now I don't feel bad about missing it because you're here, so you would have won anyway. So I'll go to Weekender and do the show, which you can also come and watch as audience in Pune.
All right, there we go. The poll is up. The poll is up right now, guys. The poll is up. The poll is on. It'll be open for the next 2 minutes before
I'm
you go.
voting for myself.
Any-
I don't think I made a prediction. Okay. Did I make a prediction?
Did you make? Okay, make a prediction. Make a prediction.
Make a
You can
prediction.
Make a prediction.
And still, 4% of people have voted for you, Arjun. Superb.
Oh.
Now you better
Wow.
make a great prediction.
Yeah.
Blind faith.
No, I didn't, right? Like, I didn't just.
I
like-
don't think so. No, I don't think you made
Yeah.
one.
No, you didn't. Come on. Prediction.
I'm saying Max, Checo, and Science.
All right. Now watch that 9% rise to 50%.
Now.
Already up to 10, guys. Already up to 10.
Arjun just said all the SEO optimization words.
Yeah,
You guys,
yeah.
It's up to 11 now.
this is basically this Sherry has done this. Sherry with her like vitriol against Team Red Bull has just you made the classic mistake. You've given the audience a villain to unite against.
That's
with
okay.
your-
I'm all good, and I
with
mean,
your
as long
love
as
of walls, with your love
Team
of walls.
Lewis, I'm good.
Fair. I get that.
We're up to 17% for Arjun now.
What's your side plot?
Oh shit! Side plot is Lando Norris scores the point.
Ooh, interesting. Nice.
I mean, that's just a
Haas in points again. Yes, no? Separate prediction.
One of them, whichever one of them finishes,
will be in points. Okay, amazing.
So you're saying one HAAS does not finish?
No. If both finish, then maybe both are in the points, but at least one will.
Okay.
Got it.
And now I am ending this poll because I'm in the lead. And that's a great place to end a poll always.
Yes.
And that, kids, is how you run elections.
Beautiful.
I believe that I have won the poll. It was basically Azim, you and I. People think we have made the most accurate predictions. Your prediction was that Sainz, Leclerc, Magnussen, Verstappen in the wall. Same people have same amount of people have said Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, DNF on all Mercedes. So two sort of opposing.
Yes.
The thing is, only one of us can win this in the end. Like only one of us.
I'll just take it again, guys. I mean,
this is Sherry 22% of people say that your predictions and Arjun 17. Either way, I guess next week we will know. So thank you, friends. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Azim. Thank you, Chad. Everyone say panel OP, and I guess we'll do this again next Monday or Tuesday, depending on everyone's schedule.
And I think there's a couple of super chats left.
Oh, there's a couple of super chats set. Rabiul says Checo and Max to rule. Tushar says call Satya or Anchal next time. Okay. Ashwin says reminds me of the time when Rohan met another Mr. Bhatt, rocking stuff, Horan another. Azim, congrats on ECA CFL 442 pe aaja jaldi, waiting. Rabiul also says Checo will win, and I think with that I've got him. All right. On that note, thank you, friends. This has been the SIDEPOD. We have a name. This has been the SIDEPOD. Episode 2, and we will see you again. Episode 3 about Saudi Arabia GP. And bye bye. Good night. Shubha Khair.
yeah.
Bye.
It is.